It is already almost 20 years since the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro, and 15 years since the signature of the Kyoto Protocol. Today, the difficulties we are experiencing in the negotiations underline the need for reform in order to adapt our framework to the scale of the crisis that we face. Climate change has become a global political issue with major implications for peace and security, which poses huge economic and social challenges to us all. We are at a point of no return. A virtuous change in our economic and technological choices and in our modes of consumption is a necessity. We must collectively reassess and adjust our values and establish a new bond of solidarity between states, between peoples, and between generations. Every day of inaction transforms the consequence of climate change into an ever greater human tragedy. We suffer its sinister impacts every day in Gabon. Our 800-kilometer coastline is subject to erosions, resulting in the destruction of infrastructure and habitations. This situation seems to worsen on a daily basis and has become a deep concern for the people of Gabon. Low-lying coastal areas are home to half of the population and 3/4 of our economic activities. Our economic capital is subject to frequent floods as a result of rises in sea level. Studies are almost complete that will allow us to develop an appropriate adaptation plan. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the battle against climate change is not an option. That is why I would like to underline our efforts to mitigate its effects and impacts, as well as to illustrate what can be done. Africa, cradle of humanity, must not be remembered as the cemetery to the hopes of the people of the world who are watching us expectantly here in Durban, waiting for solutions for a healthy planet. Our actions need to be concrete, fair, generous, and effective. Naturally, they should be anchored in a new commitment period in which all of us shoulder a burden that is proportional to our national circumstances. Some of you have a historic responsibility on the basis of the benefits you have secured whilst creating this global problem. Some have the capacity to act because the generosity of nature has blessed us with natural resources that have positive or negative impacts on the climate. Whilst others, particularly the peoples of the Sahel in Africa, the Horn in Africa, and the small island states that are threatened by sea level rise, are the innocent victims of climate change.